Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
Cenat just made enough money during Mafiathon 3 to rewrite the record books of streaming history. What he pulled off in September 2025 wasn't just impressive, it was monumental. For 30 straight days, Kai lived, breathed, and existed live on camera. No breaks, no turning off the stream, no escaping the spotlight, just raw, unfiltered Cenat for an entire month. It wasn't just content, it was an event. A marathon of energy, chaos, laughter, and exhaustion that pulled millions of eyes on a Twitch like never before. And while fans were watching him sleep, eat, laugh, rage, and break the internet every single night, something extraordinary was happening behind the scenes. The money was flowing in like a tidal wave. By the end of Mafiathon 3, the amount Cenat had earned wasn't just shocking, it was unbelievable. Now let's break it down. Twitch only pays in two major ways: subscribers and ad revenue. But when you're Cenat, the biggest streamer in the world, those two revenue streams turn into rivers. Let's start with the subscriber count. Before Mafiathon 3, the record for most Twitch subscribers in a single month was already held by Kai himself. He was already the king. But what happened next is what legends are made of, because during Mafiathon 3, he didn't just break his own record, he obliterated it. Cenat hit an astronomical 1,112,717 subscribers in 1 month. That's not just a number. That's over 1 million people paying to watch him, support him, and be part of something bigger. Every one of those subscriptions costs $5, and after Twitch takes its cut, Kai takes home roughly 70%. Multiply it out. $5 times 1,112,717 times 70%. That's a staggering $5,563,585 just from subscriptions. Over $5 million. Before ads, before sponsors, before anything else. But what's even crazier is that this wasn't even the biggest part of the pie. Because here's the thing about Mafiathon 3. It wasn't just about streaming for fun. It was a machine. And that machine was running 24/7 for 30 days, generating ad money every single hour. See, Twitch pays out ad revenue based on viewership hours and average concurrent viewers. Now, during Mafiathon 3, Kai averaged a jaw-dropping 130,099 live viewers, constantly. Every second, there were over 130,000 people watching him. That kind of number puts him in the same league as live sports events and network television. Over the 696 hours he streamed that month, those numbers turned into pure profit. According to his own team's insider data, the ad revenue formula works roughly like this. For every 1,000 viewers watching 100 hours, Twitch pays $15,000. Kai streamed nearly 7 times that baseline, 696 hours total, and had 130 times the viewer base. Multiply those numbers out, and you end up with a number so massive it almost feels unreal. $13,580,336 from ads alone. So when you combine both revenue streams, his $5.5 million from subscriptions and $13.5 million from ads, Cenat walked away from Mafiathon 3 with roughly $17,753,025 in 1 month. $17 million in 30 days. Think about that. That's more than most professional athletes earn in a year. That's more than many movie stars earn for blockbuster films. That's more than entire production companies pull in during a fiscal quarter. And yet, Kai did it alone, in his room, surrounded by cameras, energy, friends, and millions of fans cheering him on live. But the money is only part of the story. What Mafiathon 3 represented for the culture was much bigger. Kai didn't just stream, he owned the internet for an entire month. Social media feeds were flooded with clips of him yelling, dancing, reacting, or collapsing from exhaustion. Hashtags about Mafiathon trended daily. Twitch's servers were bursting from the traffic spike. While corporate platforms spent billions trying to manufacture viral content, Cenat achieved it with charisma, consistency, and community. It's important to remember that this wasn't just Kai sitting in front of a screen playing games. Mafiathon 3 was a blend of reality show, cultural experiment, and digital endurance test. Kai was pushing his limits, physically, mentally, emotionally, all while entertaining a global audience that refused to look away. There were moments of laughter, moments of burnout, moments where his exhaustion became part of the show itself. Yet every time he looked ready to break, donations poured in, subscriptions spiked, and his audience reminded him that he wasn't alone. Mafiathon 3 became something sacred for his community, proof that connection and entertainment could merge into something unforgettable. And the more you analyze what happened, the more you realize just how unprecedented this was. Twitch had never seen anything like it. Advertisers who once ignored streaming suddenly wanted to buy spots on Kai's channel. Influencers who once looked down on Twitch were now trying to replicate the Mafiathon model. Even mainstream media outlets, who previously dismissed streamers as internet personalities, started referring to Kai as a cultural powerhouse. Because this wasn't about gaming anymore. This was about a young man turning his personality into an empire, live, one stream at a time. And here's where the story becomes emotional. Kai's journey to Mafiathon 3 didn't happen overnight. He started small, hustled relentlessly, faced criticism, fought through burnout, and kept showing up even when people doubted him. He built his empire from nothing. No corporate backing, no traditional PR. Just him, his community, and his energy. And Mafiathon 3 became the ultimate victory lap. Not just financially, but symbolically. It proved that authenticity and hard work could still win in an age where most content feels manufactured. But behind every success, there's sacrifice. During Mafiathon 3, Kai barely slept. He was live almost every hour of the day, eating on camera, falling asleep on stream, waking up still in front of his fans. His privacy vanished. His life became a spectacle. And yet, he pushed through because he knew what this moment meant. For himself, for his community, and for everyone who believed in him. That's why Mafiathon 3 didn't just make headlines. It made history. And now that it's over, we're left with one undeniable truth. Cenat is no longer just a Twitch streamer. He's a global brand, a record breaker, a mogul. He turned streaming, something once seen as a hobby, into a multi-million-dollar cultural movement. His Mafiathon 3 earnings shattered every expectation, every record, every limitation people thought a streamer had. And with over $17 million in 1 month, Kai has officially entered a league of his own. But the most interesting part is what comes next. Because when someone achieves this level of success, the world starts watching even closer. Sponsors line up. Platforms compete. Critics dig deeper. Fans get louder. And the question becomes, what could Kai possibly do after this? What's left to prove? What happens after you've conquered streaming itself? If there's one thing we've learned about Cenat, it's that he's never satisfied. Mafiathon 3 wasn't just about the money. It was about setting a standard no one else could touch. He did it to show that Twitch wasn't dead. He did it to remind everyone that streaming is still the most powerful medium in entertainment. And maybe, just maybe, he did it to prove something to himself. That no matter how high the bar gets set, he can always climb higher. So as we close this chapter, think about what Mafiathon 3 really means. It's not just a record-breaking event. It's a cultural statement, as proof that one creator with enough vision and heart can shift an entire industry.